Hello, I'm going to be working through the stage 2 of Build Your Own Redis, which is responding to a ping. So I've already walked through the setup steps, and this is the first step that involves writing any code. So we don't have to worry too much at this stage about the protocol that Redis uses for communication. We're being told what we can respond with when we get a ping request. So let's jump into the IDE and see if we can make that happen. This is the code we're starting from. So we've already got a TCP listener set up listening on localhost on port 6379. We then run through each connection that arrives on that port. If that connection is okay, then we have a TCP stream. So we can get rid of the underscore prefix on that. That makes it not get marked as unused by the compiler. And we should be able to write to that. And we should be able to write the string we were given, which is plus pong, and then new line. At the moment we won't have write, so we need to import that. That comes from standard IO. And then this will be a result, which we'll need to unwrap. There we go. And then it's complaining that we can't borrow stream as mutable because it is not mutable at the moment. So if we mark stream mutable when we match on it, then we can write to it. So we could push this now and let the CodeCrafters website run the tests, but I'm going to try and test it locally because I like to know it's working. So let's see what happens. Cool, and that is passing. Although it feels a little bit unsatisfactory because at the moment we are just responding the second we get a connection received. We're not waiting for the ping to be received. So we could extend this a little bit and just say stream.read, and we would want to read into a buffer. So let's declare a buffer. And that can just be a new array initialized to 0 of size 512. And we can then pass that buffer to read, which we'll need to unwrap as well. So read we won't have imported, we'll need to grab that again from standard IO. And it's complaining that my buffer is not mutable. Let's change that. So that will then read the contents of whatever gets sent to us on that socket into the buffer. We're not going to look at it, we'll just assume it's a ping, but we do at least now wait until we're pinged before we respond with pong, which feels slightly better. And then I really want to quickly just check that this behaves like we expect. So if we spawn a Redis server, so that's running, it's not saying anything, then we can connect to this with netcat on localhost 6379. There we go, and if I send ping, we get a pong back. So it looks like that's working. Let's push it and make sure it does. Cool, I passed the test for stage 2. Looks good.